Right. I'm in Halifax at the moment, in a big open place. So hopefully I don't get moved on by anybody, but I think it's absolutely fine. It's like a market square. I'm going to be speaking to Basic Booch in a minute, so I'll add Ben to the call now and then we can get going. Uh, Hello, hi Ben.
Hi, Robin. How's it going?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm outside, so
Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Halifax at the moment.
Oh,
Um,
lovely city.
yeah, it's really nice. I've not really been here much before, but I came on a whim this afternoon. So, yeah,
Nice. Well,
it's been.
as a Yorkshireman growing up in North Yorkshire, Halifax for me is all about Eureka, which is
Oh
this
yeah,
incredible like kids dream sort of be an adult, go around, do the post, all of that kind of stuff. So
Mate, look,
I just got
yeah.
such warm feelings about Halifax because of that.
Oh no, whereabouts did you grow up in Yorkshire?
Up in the Yorkshire Dales, so just north of Harrogate, in the in the countryside, in the proper countryside.
Nice. Yeah, I went past it on the train, the Eureka thing, and it was because it's half term. There's loads of kids out there, like
I'm
seem to
sure.
be having a great time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm jealous of them, frankly.
So, whereabouts are you now? Then are you based in London? Then?
I'm based in London now. Yeah, I've been in London for like 15 years now, I think. So
Okay.
I came over. Yeah, I came over to go to university and haven't left. But I still love going back to Yorkshire. It's sort of, it's if you grow up in the countryside, it's impossible to just be stuck in the city all the time. You need to get some fresh air now and again.
100%, 100%. Yeah, we've moved about a bit, and like we've just moved. We moved to Sheffield like 2 years ago, and like yeah, we're moving away. We're going to move back to Oxford, but like we found Sheffield to be like the best place we've lived. Like out of everywhere down
Such a
south,
great
like
city. Such a
like because
great
you're so
city.
close to the Peak District, and yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah, it's
But
touching
yeah,
distance, isn't
it
it?
is. It really is. Yeah. So yeah, I've got the can.
You got your
Yeah,
can. I've got my can.
yeah.
Crack it open.
It's yeah. Firstly,
I've got my
thank
fancy
you.
glass. Have you got your
Oh
fancy
no,
glass? I
I
guess
didn't bring it
not.
with me. No, no, I haven't even got a glass. I just got the can, and it's not as cold as I'd like it to be, but it's still tasting good. So yeah.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Firstly, just wanted to say thank you. Cheers. Thank you for giving these away with the last box. Like I personally, I've got into kombucha a lot in the last sort of year, 18 months.
Mm,
And I spoke to you, I think, when you were first launching, and
right, exactly.
very kindly sent me some, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I think I let you sort of talk about the sort of backstory, but for me, I just a lot of the stuff I tasted before was different flavors, all types of fruit and all that sort of stuff. But you like it says, it's basic beach. So do
Yeah,
you want to
right.
tell us a little? Do you want to tell us a bit about like yeah, what was the you've gone back to basics. So, like, how did that come
That's
about?
exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, it came about. I'd say like less from a love of kombucha, although I do love drinking kombucha. It came from a love of the pub, to be honest. Like, I love going to the pub. I love meeting friends in the pub. I'm a sort of flexitarian drinker, so
Yeah, yeah,
I feel quite at home, like having a beer in the pub. But I know plenty of people who don't drink, or like kind of don't want to drink all the time, or frankly, like aren't really particularly into beer, right?
yeah, yeah,
And so going to the pub is I don't know, it's just not quite the same for them. There's something about, and this is where like the massive development in alcohol-free beer over the last couple of years is just such a revelation, because there is something about having a pint in your hand. There's something about
absolutely.
like the sort of the pace of a round, the kind of the
Yeah,
ceremony of
yeah,
it. I don't know, like it's hard to get away from that. And however many kind of elderflower presse you have,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not gonna recreate that. So while there's obviously tons of great non-alcoholic beers, I just had this idea a couple of years ago when I first started drinking kombucha. I was like, actually, kombucha as a drink has these same qualities as a beer. You know, it's dry. It's got this kind of tanginess, which means you don't want to gulp it down. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not like a Coke that, like, you know, 1 minute later it's disappeared. You know, it's something you want to sip. It's something you want to enjoy.
Definitely.
Like all the other kombuchas on the market, you know, they're health drinks. They're kind of things that you drink to make your stomach bacteria good. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's frankly not the sort of thing you want to drink in the pub. At the same time, you know, they're also, you know, they're doing their thing, but their thing is often kind of being a health food and it's not really, you know. So I was like, if I could brew some kombucha that had a flavor profile that was smoother, more refreshing, more kind of sessionable. So I came up with this idea of session kombucha. Then maybe it could fill the same kind of space as non-alcoholic beer, like be a complement in the same way you get sour beers and, you know, IPAs and all this kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's a different style. And I was like, well, you know, but it also has to be styled so it looks like it fits in, that you can quite happily grab a can of it and you know, with your mates and not feel like you're missing out. So that was kind of where it came from. And then, you know, I started to put plans together. COVID hit, everything went up in the air, as it did for everyone. But once it kind of settled down and came back down to earth, I was like, actually, I need to take this opportunity to move the idea on. And so I started brewing it in my kitchen, getting the recipe right, getting the kind of proving to myself that it is possible to brew kombucha and not be super vinegary and difficult. And then started working with a brewer last year, and we launched the brand 1st of January this year, so sort of for dry January, and you were one of our kind of early supporters, so thanks so much for that. And I think probably a load of your subscribers and, you know, Instagram followers as well, because, you know, the alcohol-free beer community on Instagram is just amazing. Like an amazing kind of vibrant bunch of people, and I was sort of delighted, particularly like right at the beginning, where I was like, how on earth is anyone going to find out about this? That there was this like bunch of people who were open-minded and excited to try. And even though it's not beer, that you know, it's something a bit different that hopefully kind of scratches an itch if you're
absolutely
if you're in the market for something like this.
Definitely, I think that's exactly it. I think like now, from my perspective, like, obviously, like you say, the alcohol-free beer world is massive now, and there's so many options. But like, you can't just drink that. Like, like I think like also it's nice to have, like, I really love like sodas and kombuchas and stuff as well. Because like, you know, when you are limiting yourself to, well, not limiting yourself, when you're you know, taking some options off the table, you've got this. So like you say about like having it in a pub, like was the plan, I guess, pre-COVID then to sort of start going down the line of like having draft and like making it, because like even when you pour it out you get the head on it, and like was that always part of the thinking?
That was definitely part of the thinking. I would love to get it on draft sometime. That's kind of like the day I see it on draft is I'm gonna,
I bet that's the goal.
That is the
100%.
That's the, and it's the same with alcohol-free beer as well, isn't it? Like the last sort of, I mean, obviously there have been some on draft, but like really the last 6 months, is it, do you think, where you've seen more?
Ever so slow.
Hello, I think for a second there. Oh, I think we're back. Are we back?
Oh yeah, I lost you slightly there. It's probably because I'm on the 4G. You're sorry. You were saying about like about going
like being on draft. It's just like that is like when you go into a pub and you see an alcohol-free beer on draft, like you feel like actually this is a real movement now, because like that's how you order in a pub. You go up, you look at what's on the taps, and you make your choices. And so one day I'd love to be on draft. I think for the moment, like, you know, we're still a really small company. Like we've got a bunch of fantastic bottle shops and bars, craft beer bars in particular, who are stocking and who are supporting us, and with whom it seems to be going down really well, which is fantastic. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, draft is a future plan. It's kind of, you know, that's somewhere down the line there.
Yeah, definitely. I think like you can tell from the branding and like it you know, it does fit alongside alcohol-free beers and like craft beer in general. Like it's got the same style in your design. So, like, is it so? Are people coming to it now? You're getting it in bars, you're getting it in bottle shops. People are starting to find it.
Starting to, yeah. I mean, look, it's you know, it's a super challenging year. There's like it's been
Yeah,
an
yeah,
incredible
yeah,
roller coaster. Like starting in COVID, like it started off, people were so amazing at like being able to buy stuff online. Like when you, hello, you're back.
yeah. Sorry, I don't. I'm.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I was just saying, like, it's been such a kind of up and down year, and like for bars and hospitality and stuff like that, it's so
Yeah,
uncertain. Like, they just don't know what's coming around the corner. So we've got a bunch of bars and bottle shops who have been kind of courageous and supportive enough to stock us, which is fantastic. And like, as I say, it seems to be going down well with people. Like, people are coming back for it. I think it's going in the right. Everything's going in the right direction, and
brilliant.
what I hope for it. It's as I say, it's still a small company, but I want
Yeah,
I want to grow the brand like a brewery, like a beer brand.
yeah,
Where
yeah,
where you
definitely.
sort of get in the right places, show people like this is something you can have when you
Yeah,
might be otherwise itching for a beer, and go that way rather than I'm not.
yeah.
I've got no kind of big backers kind of coming swooping in, giving me
No,
this
it's good.
idea.
It's good to grow. So I guess I've got two questions. I take that probably leads me on to the first one, which is do you see yourself? I guess like in the alcohol-free beer world, the nearest sort of comparison is like Lucky Saint, where they've just developed like one beer really really well, and they've just pushed that throughout and haven't veered from that at all. Do you see yourself going down that route, or do you think maybe more like going into other flavors and like what does the next sort of
Yeah.
6 months look like? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I think one thing, I might end up eating my words here, right? But one thing that I don't see in the plan is to kind of have berry flavored Basic Booch, or like whatever, like I don't know. There's a lot of passion fruit and vanilla,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. a lot of kombuchas that's the root, right? It's fruit, and it's kind of
yeah,
um, what I want to do with Basic Booch is like show it can be something different, show that kombucha can be something that, as I keep going on, like sits beside beer. So yeah, I do want to definitely have different styles, but I want to see them as styles like you would have different beer styles. So maybe
okay,
that means doing a darker brew, maybe that means doing a kind of a
okay,
summer version, like something like that. I don't know for sure, but like I know I want to. I think it would be like sort of to go down the fruit route. It would just kind of take it so much. It's just like why not just
yeah,
try something else then? Like I want to.
yeah, yeah.
This is it's a booch for beer drinkers, right? So I want
No,
to stay true to that as much as possible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, no, that's great. That's for me. That's what why it's appealing. I think like it is what it says on the tin, and it tastes great. And like you say, it doesn't
Totally.
have like the vinegar, and then it's not. It's a gateway into kombucha, I think. And if you want to go down that path of like having kombucha with fruit or whatever, then that's one way you can go. But
Sure.
if you just like the kombucha taste and have something which is not beer, then it's
Yeah.
perfect. So
Well, I mean,
my other question. I got one other question, and I'm a bit worried about the connection going again. But what is like the process? What you say, like the brewing process? Like what
yeah.
is that? Like what's involved? What are the ingredients? How does it work?
Yeah, so I mean, it's the ingredients list, as you'll see on the side of the can, is super short. So it's just tea, water, sugar, and then kombucha culture, which is, I suppose, the magic extra ingredient. The brewing process is essentially, make a massive cup of tea, like literally with enormous tea bags, quite literally like a giant cup of tea. You brew the tea, you make it a sugary
Okay.
tea, so you add the sugar in there. And with the kombucha culture, because it's a different type of like reaction to when you're brewing a beer. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't it doesn't produce alcohol through that. So you get that fermentation that happens. So you leave it to ferment, and during that fermentation, you get those flavors, you get that beautiful body to it, you get those kind of, you know, the tanginess, the complexity, but you don't get alcohol. So, or I mean, if you're home brewing, you might get a little bit.
You're right, because of the fermentation. Yeah.
But if you do, which is the one sitting on my kitchen counter there. But if you're doing it properly in a controlled environment, then you can brew it like we do to make it totally alcohol free. So like the process is like remarkably similar to beer, although you're using tea instead of grain, and obviously you're not using hops. So it's what like the brewery looks in a lot of ways like a beer brewery, but because it's a bit like sours. You know, you can't brew sours and normal beer in the same brewery or like in the same room. You've got to keep them apart. It's the same thing with kombucha, like the kind of bacteria that's, you know.
So very
it's simple, it's natural, like it kind of it's one of those things, like they've been like kombucha's been around for thousands of years, like literally like as old as they get. So I think it's all about trying to do it slightly differently, I guess, and you know, that's the sort of session kombucha angle. That's the sort of trying to do it a bit differently, trying to brew it so you don't get so much of the vinegariness and all that kind of thing.
Amazing. Well, yeah, we obviously we gave it in the boxes this month, and also you've got a deal on at the moment, haven't you? Buy one and get three free. Is that right?
That's the deal. I mean, too good to be true, right? Yeah. So
good. I'm going to take that deal.
Thanks so much for getting us in the box, because as I say, like, you know, it's a Booch for beer drinkers. So I'm really excited to hear what you know your subscribers think of it, and like hopefully, I mean, anyone who has received it in their box already, like drop me a message on Instagram. I'd love to hear what you think. So going out in the box, we've got this October deal, which is you go on our website, you pay for 1 can and delivery, and you get 4 cans, and it arrives in your house. So hopefully, it's a kind of a good gateway for people to be able to take a little bit of a chance on it.
Definitely, absolutely. I think, and I know you did a similar thing in January, and like you say, people came to it through that, and I think for me, once you tasted it, it is a great alternative to beer, and it's fantastic. Thank you so much, Ben. I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties.
Not at all.
But I'll put it up on Spotify and YouTube and stuff as well, so people can access it that way. And I'll encourage people to get in touch as well.
Do.
Subscribers, give you some feedback, because kombucha doesn't, especially. I'm always posting beer. Sometimes kombucha doesn't get like. But I think your one is a good gateway. Like we said.
You don't have to tiptoe around it. I think, you know, this is the big thing for Basic Booch, is like, it is a bit of a hard sell talking to people about kombucha. Like, on the one hand, a load of people haven't heard of it, and it sounds quite scary, even just the word and just like the idea of it.
Yeah.
And even if you have heard of it, like it's you know, there are a lot of slightly weird kombuchas out there. People might have had bad experiences. So I always kind of go into conversations sort of with the expectation that I have to kind of win people over a bit. And I'm not just saying it, but like, there are loads of people who try it and say, oh, actually, I didn't think I liked kombucha, but I like this one. Yeah. Which is just so nice to hear, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully that's what we're giving people this month as well. So again, thank you for this evening, and and good luck with the future. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. And I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, Robin.
Nice one. Cheers, Ben.
All right. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.